Hey, folks. Welcome back. It's Weekend Food Talk. As I mentioned, Mother's Day today. Again, happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. I've got a great guest on the phone with me, gentleman who runs one of the original New York City rescue mission, J.VarnHagen. Jim, how are you?
Great, Mike. Thanks so much for being on the program with you.
No, it's great. So let's talk about yesterday, because the event that you guys pulled off, bussing in from all around the city. Over 500 moms and kids, most of them coming out of the local New York City shelter system. You've had volunteers in the past, including the likes of Susan Sarandon, Mayor Michael Bloomberg, Kathy Lee Gifford, former Mayor David Dinkins, Liza Minnelli, and Mark Gastineau, the great hockey player, on and on. How did yesterday go? Because I know when you guys do this stuff, you do it right.
Oh, yes. We actually served over 650 meals yesterday. Moms and their children, and just a great time. And the thing that struck me most is how thankful they were. They said, "Thank you so much." They appreciated it, and we wanted to treat them as our special guests, which we did. And Susan Sarandon was there, of course, and we've had other guests. A number of the anchors from different TV stations come in, and it just is we have a great time. And
just so people understand this,
I don't want to forget Joy Brown was there too. She comes all the time.
Yeah, Joy Brown, regular on WOR, 5 days a week. Great psychologist with a call-in show that's coast to coast these days. New York City Rescue exists through the generosity of volunteers and also donations. What's your website? Should I have listeners out there that might be inclined to donate?
Yes, it's nycrescue.org.
Simple enough. nycrescue.org. You're housed in a building down on Lafayette Street, really in one of the wealthiest, what's become one of the wealthiest zip codes in Manhattan, the Tribeca neighborhood. Logistically, yesterday, you had buses running, 4 or 5 hours all day long?
Yes, they started right before noon and continued right up until about 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So it was traffic was terrific, but they got there and they got the people to us, and we had great music, and it was just one of our best Mother Day events ever.
And again, this was exclusively for moms and their kids, and the vast majority of the women and their children you were serving are homeless. They're living in New York City, rescues at this point, right?
They're living
in shelters,
different shelters in the city, and we pick them up in the coach buses and treat them like special guests, which they are. And they're in kind of a drab type of situation, and the struggles they've been going through and difficulties, and our hearts just go out to them, and we just wanted to share with them the love that we extend every day at the New York City Rescue Mission to many people that come in our front door that are in desperate shape and need help.
How many years has the New York City Rescue been in the business of doing this good work?
Well, we've been there 140 years. We'll be on October 8th of this year.
140 years worth of helping people that really need a lift up. And goodness knows, through various economic cycles, recessions, depressions, crises, we're coming through one now that's the worst one really in a generation or two. And there's more need than ever. And that's what you guys do, is provide shelter if need be, certainly provide hot meals and respect. Great organization that you have down there.
Food, clothing, spiritual hope, overnight accommodations. We have a learning center, a clinic, and just a wide range of services and people come to us from all walks of life. The difficulties of the economy affects everyone.
Yeah, I'll attest to that. Have been there a couple of times as a volunteer serving meals, and I guess we all have an idea of, a stereotype of a face for poverty. And what's surprising is to see when you're there, white Black, Asian, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, whatever, teenagers, 20-something kids that look like they went to good colleges. Some people look like they've been down and out for a while, but everybody comes there. They're given respect. They're given a meal and a chance to really get the help they need to turn their lives around.
You can catch this event on Facebook. Now, I'm not all keyed into all of the Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and all that, but I do go on Facebook and I see this. So your listeners could go on.
So you guys have it's NYC Rescues your Facebook?
That's right.
Wow, it's a great. I would advise people to go, and also, it's great. We used to do still do. We did it this year, right leading up to the Super Bowl. I think we started it when I was doing Food Talk on a regular basis out in New York City to raise funds for you guys to have a Super Bowl week where we would raise money and chefs would contribute. We'd have this great sort of a party leading up into that Super Bowl.
Well, it's those types of gifts and that type of support that keeps our mission open 365 days. We get very little government funding just for food. That is probably less than 1 or 2% of our budget, but 99% comes from the general public.
Folks, that's nycrescue.org. My guest has been J.VarnHagen, one of the men that runs that does great work 24/7, 365, helping people in New York that need help. Jim, thanks so much.
Thanks again for having us on your program.
No, thank you, and I'm sure you made a lot of mothers happy yesterday. It's a wonderful thing. Just picture that. Busloads and busloads of women and their children coming in who were really down and out, living in New York City shelters that had a great meal. It's a small dining room. They feed, they turn that room over, and it's a great thing that they do.